Hi friends, welcome to my YouTube channel SS Analysis. First of all, I would like to tell you that if you're watching this video first time, subscribe my channel to see my more upcoming videos on analysis of different commodities and equity indices. And second important thing is to watch this video till its end to understand this solely to take your decision. Your well like will motivate me to be regular in working more hard for you. So let us start the day to analyze the movements of natural gas futures in different time frames. So friends, here you can see a weekly chart of natural gas futures. So here I find that the natural gas futures have been maintaining still in a golden saucer. As here you can see that how the natural gas futures have been maintaining this uptrend after a breakout above the psychological resistance at $3. What the natural gas futures beast during the last week of May 2021, when the natural gas futures found a breakout here and continued this uptrend and finally tested a high at the levels of $4.206 on August 4th, 2021. Since then, we have seen a sharp sell-off in natural gas futures, whereas we have seen this fall to continue during the last week, and during this week, still we can feel this weakness. Whereas today we are going to have an inventory announcement at 10:30 a.m. So here I would like to tell you that what could be the levels where the natural gas futures could test after the announcement of this week's inventory at 10:30 a.m. So before this, we'll have to have a look at the current position of some hurricanes in the Gulf of Mexico. So here you can see that how the Hurricane Fred has now passed here. So here you can see that how the Hurricane Gus is holding a strong position here. So here I find that this could impact the natural gas production sites in the Gulf of Mexico. And on the other hand, this tropical storm Henry seems to be moving west at 9 miles per hour. So this could create some disturbance. This could result in less warm weather here. But here I find that if the Hurricane Grace covered this area within the next 3 days, we'll see the natural gas futures could take a sharp bouncing move from the current levels. So friends, here I find that for the upcoming week, we'll have to have a visual high over the directional move of Hurricane Grace during the upcoming week. So friends, here I find that if the Hurricane Grace results in some disturbance in natural gas supply production here in the Gulf of Mexico, during the upcoming week, we'll see the current uptrend in natural gas futures could be there. So now I would like to show you that what we are expecting from the inventory levels. So here you can see that during the last week, we have seen an injection of 49 billion cubic feet. That was well according to the expected levels, but for today, the expected level for injection is 31 billion cubic feet. But here I find that a lesser injection in today's inventory could result in a bouncing move in natural gas futures. So friends, here I find that after the announcement of today's inventory, the natural gas futures could remain very volatile, where it could find an immediate resistance at the levels of $4.048, and on the low side, the immediate support can be seen at the levels of the 3.731, from where a sharp bounce back can be expected, and the final support will be at the levels of the 3.671, where the 9 days moving average in a weekly time frame will provide strong buying support to natural gas futures. So friends, now let me zoom this portion for you. So friends, here you can see that how the natural gas futures look very indecisive here at this point, where I find that if the natural gas futures take a sustained move above the levels of the 3.817 after the announcement of this week's inventory, we'll see the natural gas futures could test the levels of the 3.973 before this weekly closing. Whereas I find that during the upcoming week, the natural gas futures could try to trade amid this trading range which I have constructed. Here I find that during the upcoming week, the natural gas futures could test the lows of the 3.657, and on the upper side, the natural gas futures could try to test the levels of the 4, where the levels of the 4.048 could provide a stiff resistance to natural gas futures. So friends, here I find that if the natural gas futures find a system move well above the levels of the 4.079, we'll see this uptrend to continue during the upcoming week, where the next target for the natural gas bulls could be at the $4.2. But here, this steep upward move could attract bears to go short from here once again, because this level seems to be a strong resistance for natural gas futures. Immediate resistance for natural gas futures will be at the $3.987, and here only a still move well above the levels of $4 could continue this uptrend in natural gas futures. So friends, here I find that in case of a downward move in natural gas futures, 9 days moving average could provide strong support to natural gas futures, which is currently at the levels of the 3.671, and here I find that the final support can be seen at the levels of the 3.652. In case of a downward move in natural gas futures during the upcoming week, this level could provide a strong bounce back to natural gas futures, from where natural gas futures could find a strong reversal once it sustains above the levels of the 3.731. So friends, here I find that the levels of the 3.731 will play an important role in deciding the further directional moves of natural gas futures. So friends, now let me zoom out this. So friends, now let's check this move in a daily time frame. So here in a daily time frame, here you can see that how the natural gas futures tested a high at the levels of the 4.205 on August 4th. And from here, the natural gas futures continue to face stiff resistance at the levels of 4.193, and finally started to move downward from August 9. And here you can see that how the natural gas futures try to defend the levels of the 4, which is a psychological support, till the natural gas futures were trading above this level. So friends, here you can see that how the natural gas futures have finally found a breakdown below this psychological support. Here you can see that how the natural gas futures have finally tested a low at the levels of the 3.779. So here I find that the immediate support for the natural gas futures could be at the levels of the 3.731 in today's move. So here I find that the levels of the 3.748 could be the immediate support, and the final support can be seen at the levels of the 3.731, from where the natural gas futures could find a strong reversal before this weekly closing. Undoubtedly, a breakdown below the 26 days moving average looks evident enough for the continuity of a bearish trend in natural gas futures, but here I find that this support seems to be evident enough for providing a bouncing move to natural gas futures from the levels of the 3.756. Here I find that this level could provide a strong support to natural gas futures till this weekly closing, and here I find that if the natural gas futures close this week well above the levels of the 3.848, we'll see this uptrend to continue, but the volatility could be on the higher scale. So here I find that during the upcoming week, the natural gas futures could try to sustain well above the levels of the 3.771, and here I find that if the natural gas futures find a downward move during the upcoming week, the natural gas futures could find an immediate support at the levels of the 3.686, and the next support will be at the levels of the 3.646, and the final support can be seen at the upper end of Ichimoku cloud, which is currently at the levels of the 3.588, from where the natural gas futures could find a strong buying support in a daily time frame. So here I find that during the upcoming week, the natural gas futures could even break the levels of the 4. So thank you friends, thanks for watching this video. If you like this video, don't forget to share this video with your more and more friends. Thank you.